Jimmy, when I was talking to you on Tuesday on the phone, I was talking about the meetings in Munich with Tony about the Sunday was mostly silence. And I said, because I've got that desperation to get something, I was thinking, well, what's the point of being here if it's just silence? I could sit at home in silence, and you said it's a different kind of silence. So, what do you mean by a different kind of silence?
Seems harder to escape.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. Because when we were just sitting there in silence, I was thinking, when there's talking going on, for me there's still a hope in that. But when it's silence, there's still that agitation of wanting to move to somewhere, but almost without the tools to do it. Versus when there's a discussion, it feels like something might go on in this discussion. So you don't ever have agitation in that way?
As far as trying to find what is, that core agitation. There isn't anyone here that has anything. Doesn't even have this.
So what has that wholeness?
Well, nothing has it because nothing has anything because there isn't any separation. Everything is just boom, done.
So at the core of the me, the tension that isn't recognised until it falls away, would you say it's like an agitated energy?
No, it's not. The first impulse, the first thing to arise is knowing. And something recognizes knowing as like a comfort blanket, as like something it has. It's like, that's something. There's something really nice about that. But with that knowing comes me, and me is separation. And knowing is a funny thing, because knowing, the me, feels like an experience. Experience is just another form of knowing, that knowing is fulfillment. But really it's satisfaction, it's temporary. Because it is out of the need, out of knowing, that the need to know arises. So it actually is that circle.
So that's where the agitation comes from?
The need to know.
Need to know.
Yeah.
And by need to know, it's just need to experience, have more.
Oh no, it's the know I am. It's to know I am.
There's an agitation with that.
Yeah.
Because it could be threatened at any minute.
Well, it is threatened. It has to constantly confirm its own experience or its own reality.
And it does that through seeking.
Yeah, well, seeking, no, it does that through experience. Even if it's the experience of I am. I am can experience I am. It can know I am. It's sort of a singular sort of a state that you can find. And it's very satisfying.
So when you said it comes in as a kind of comfort blanket.
It doesn't come in, it comes in as knowing, and the sense is when it arises, something's owned.
So it feels good.
Yeah.
Right. Well, obviously for me, I can't remember the exact moment I became separate. But obviously 2 weeks ago I was with Andreas in Konecny, and he was saying in some cases the me can kind of creep in gently, and in other cases it can come in more as a strong misery early on. And for me, I can't remember the exact moment it came in, but I remember 3 or 4, just this strong sense of misery there, like I was so happy, where's the happiness gone? Now I'm just miserable, what's gone wrong?
Yeah.
So that doesn't seem to me like there was any kind of comfort to knowing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like it was always just, the dissatisfaction was always just so strong.
Yeah.
But would you say even in that misery there's a kind of comfort to it?
Oh, the me would much prefer to suffer in what it knows than to what it doesn't know.
So I'd rather be miserable.
Oh, totally. To repeat what doesn't work as something known than to do something unknown.
That's amazing. No. It's a real little crafty one, isn't it?
It's like smoking cigarettes. Where it's just like, it's never, you're always like, it becomes something, it's both the source of the agitation and then the comfort.
The mind too distorts things, because I thought I had a miserable, unhappy, and I was always depressed child. But then my mom sent us copies of home movies, and I'm running and dancing through the sprinkler and smiling, and so then I think, well, maybe that's a distortion. The mind, the me distorts our memories too.
Yeah.
Especially depression will distort your memory.
Well, actually, it seems to be, I mean, the biggest distortion is me, but memories are completely unreliable.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But not because of the me, just because of the way the brain, this isn't on topic, but the brain works at being efficient, and so it tries to forget as much as it can. Because if you remembered everything, you'd fill up like quite quickly. And so it's constantly sorting things out to forget. And it just creates amalgams of things, so that it thinks is necessary to keep it running. And it's completely unreliable memory.
Really? And if you have a tendency towards, your me has a tendency towards depression, then it seems to make all the memories, like that's all you can remember. That's what your brain is going over and over, when it wasn't always the reality.
Hello.
Thanks, Lord.
So it could be that we forget, the brain forgets what we did before, and that's why we repeat.
The brain, yeah, it's very unreliable. Yeah.
But it does have these tracks, these memories.
The me is the creator of those tracks.
Yeah.
Okay, constant.
Remembering certain things, identifying itself. It's knowing it is. It's all through that. Knows that it wants to know it.
It wears grooves in the brain,
It does.
memory pathways.
So when you kind of said the me would rather repeat what doesn't work, it's almost like banging your head against a wall going, why does my head hurt? Well,
yeah, that's the experience of me.
Does it know that it will never find fulfillment? No.
No, it's actually quite convinced that it has something to do with it.
So when it repeats what doesn't work, it thinks one day it will.
Oh, yeah.
Just try more.
Yeah, harder. That's why it likes teachings, because it makes sense. It has something to do with me, and if it doesn't work, it's just because I'm not trying hard enough.
I could apply that framework even to a non-teaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
That comfort blanket thing, it feels like I have to go back to, well, tonight to feel what that feels like, because right now it doesn't feel like there's any comfort blanket, and it's like a whole giant question mark, and that ain't fun. I mean, it's like, whereas last night it was, you know, different versions of some sort of, some story. Oh, good. And now it's like, you know, like,
Yeah,
really?
Nothing.
Yeah, I want to say I'm afraid you're right. I mean, no wonder. Because since that seems to be right, how can there be anything other than?
Well, until there's no one, and there's no question.
Oh, say that again.
It's only the me that wants to know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That wants to know what this is.
It's only the me, as if. Oh, maybe that's true though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh.
So do you have memories of both happy and sad?
There isn't anyone here with anything.
Yeah.
No,
Memories arise.
nothing is owned yet.
Yeah, they arise. But they don't, like a traumatic memory doesn't affect, because there's nothing there to be
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if there are any. I don't know. Don't know. It just, the sense is it just doesn't matter.
Mm.
There's just what arises.
Yeah.
There's just memories or thoughts.
There's not like, oh, I should have done it this way.
Well, there wasn't anyone to do it. And it didn't ever really happen. There isn't, should comes out of the experience that this needs to be a particular way, which is the story of me trying to find what's lost.
Jim, so if you think about the meeting yesterday, being sat in this room, that never happened.
Oh no. Well, apparently. But it's only apparent. Everything is only apparent. It's the appearance of that which is longed for, that which can't be said. There's an apparent past, an apparent world, and Birmingham or Birmingham.
So,
Is that from all the years of talking to me you picked up a bit of that?
It's just in a very real sense not relevant what appears. It just appears.
It's not relevant, so that's the issue, is I give it relevance.
Well, but relevance in the sense that it has meaning and purpose and intention.
Meaning it's going somewhere.
In the experience of the individual, it is. In this meeting, it's the end of me. Or 6 o'clock when you can get out of here. The end of me. That's the whole thing. And the meaning and purpose is the idea of what has to happen for the me to end. And with you, it's figuring out all these patterns and all these things. And that's the process that you're going to accomplish at the end of me. There isn't anyone there.
You look too serious when you say that.
Oh.
Not like not serious like that, but as in there's nothing joking about it at all. It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I remember hearing this and how strange it was. Well, I said before, this would go, this is probably what he means.
And then when you apparently died...
Oh, that's what he meant.
You realised it was correct.
It is exactly what he said.
Too late to go back.
No one to want to.
so that meeting we had last night.
The meeting
We had that apparently occurred last night. We already don't know what happened. We might, because we're all like self-centered, I might remember some comment I made, some stupid comment or something that made some people laugh, and it might, but we really don't know what happened, do we?
Well,
because it didn't happen.
No, because the brain is very inefficient at memory.
Yes, it is.
That's not why it didn't happen, or why it's hard to remember. The brain's inefficient. It didn't happen because it only appears to happen. Everything is that. There is only that. This is that. The memory is that. Feelings are that.
So many arguments with my husband occur over, well, I said that. No, you didn't. You didn't say that. You said that other thing, or you did that. No, I swear I did this. That's just memory.
Well, it's that appearing as an argument.
can't argue with that. So I want to say it like, no, I can't argue. What would you say?
Would you say that the enjoyment of hearing what you're saying is also the me?
Oh, I don't know. It
It
depends.
can be, it seems like it can be,
Absolutely.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because it also almost seems to stop the me,
Yeah.
that enjoyment,
Mm.
like it's not there.
Yeah. That's just all there is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Do animals have me?
No.
They don't have self-awareness.
No.
Thank God.
They're lucky.
You'd see them all meditating in the woods.
But the pets are a little more neurotic.
They are a bit
Notice that,
neurotic,
you know,
that's true.
from living with us.
Mm.
But that doesn't stand for a contraction.
Mm.
How do, I mean, I know nothing has anything, but how do animals not have me?
I don't know.
But I mean, do you think we have me?
Well, there's an apparent me.
But you don't think there's an apparent me in a cat?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-mm.
What about a dolphin?
Well, I think they have emotions. Right?
Oh, it
That's
seems
why they
that.
have emotions.
I don't know if it's true or not. I'm getting distracted, but so it's the number of the number of folds in the brain. It has to do with the complexity of the way they can think and all those things, and the number of them.
Mm-hmm.
And a sperm whale has a brain 100 times of ours.
Mm.
And so there's so and it's got 100 times of those folds and all the rest of it. So they say they have language and all these other things, but it doesn't seem that they have a me.
No.
They're having a meeting saying the same thing about us.
I was at a meeting going, why are they all so weird? It's like they're diseased. A virus, they put inside a virus.
I read that the whales got pissed off and started overturning boats.
Yeah.
You know? So they're waging war.
And sometimes the gorilla, was it gorilla chimps and some of those, what do you call those? Animals. Primates. They will go nuts and destroy each other.
Mm.
So maybe there's like a maybe they're not doing it out of me, but they're doing something with the brain, something with the social.
I'm trying to understand how our me is different. I think of my cat screaming all morning to come in, and then as soon as I open the door, he's like, okay, bye.
Well, that's how it's different. The me doesn't let go. It continues. It didn't hold a grudge. Make you pay.
So cats and humans have me's.
No, I'm saying cat doesn't because it screams all day and then it's like, oh, never mind.
Oh, okay.
But then it screams 2 minutes later, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just till it gets what it wants.
It doesn't seem, I mean, I can't prove it. It doesn't seem to me that they have one. It does seem to me if they did, they would start some sort of community or religion to try to overcome the discontent of separation.
Yeah.
And if I watch a cat, it doesn't seem to hold on to anything.
Right.
I mean, what in the end, what's wanted is to be able to lay like a cat does and look out the window for 4 hours. That's contentment. That's what the individual is looking for.
And scream when you're hungry.
And scream
Yeah.
when you're hungry. They're much more intelligent than we are.
Because that's the more natural and simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The simplicity
Simple, yeah.
of life you can see in
Yeah,
animals.
yeah, yeah.
There's
And humans
squirrels
before-
and
Excuse me?
play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To
they-
say, and in babies before the
Yeah.
contraction,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they just cry when they're hungry.
That's right,
Sleep
yeah.
when they're sleepy. And
Yeah,
play
it's
when they're
exactly what it's like with me. I cry a lot.
I can tell you my first memory. I was probably about toddler age, maybe, maybe two. My parents had part of a house. They were at my dad's at university. And I was in the crib, and in the 50s, you had these windows that were jalousie. They were glass, but they were like, you couldn't see out of them,
Yeah.
when they were closed. And anyway, I remember standing in my crib and watching the light filtering through. Was that a moment of awareness of me? Because I don't have a fear.
That's a memory,
Yeah,
and it's not
not
attached
contraction.
to anything.
Okay,
It's just a memory.
okay.
It doesn't belong to anyone.
Oh, so it was just
It's just a
perception.
memory.
It was just like,
No, it never happened.
yeah,
It's a memory.
yeah.
That belongs to no one. It's just a memory.
Oh. So all those other even later memories after the contraction, those didn't belong to anyone either.
Nothing belongs to anyone. There's just what is, which is that appearing.
So only the me claims that's my
Yeah.
identity.
It's not necessarily, it's not really a claim, it's not really an activity.
Yeah,
It's
just
an
kind of-
experience that it's mine.
Okay.
My thoughts, my feelings, my
My
memory.
past, my memory, and I'm attached to it.
Yeah.
The beliefs.
Well, it's not attached.
No.
No. It attaches itself to things, but it's not an attachment, it's an experience that it belongs, it's mine. It's my experience, it's my happening, it's my life.
And it happened exactly as I remember. Like the memory.
Oh, right.
The
Yeah, or it
same.
didn't, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, or it didn't, yeah.
Do you have any explanation, like, Tony will say, you'll never get this, but for some reason, people who come to these meetings or in other situations, something falls away energetically. There's no understanding that process.
It's not a process.
The dropping away of the illusion?
No, for the me, everything is a process, but without an individual, there isn't a process.
So it really is about giving up hope.
No, it isn't. It's not about anything.
Oh.
It's done. It's done. There's absolutely no need for anything to happen.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
done.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
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 Trying to wrap my head around it's done.
That'd be hard.
Yeah. So, just sort of observing, like, these, we're here at this meeting and you're talking, and like, to even explain this whole concept of people talking for a few minutes, there has to be time.
Yeah.
You know? And we talk about it's done, but then it keeps on going.
Yeah, that's it's done going.
Okay.
Oh.
Apparently going.
So is it the same as like it's all in the can?
It's
like
only.
all the stuff happened and...
No, not like that, no.
Okay.
Not even a can? No can.
Can. You don't even get a can.
So it's not like that.
No.
So what is it like?
There's nothing really happens because everything that appears to happen is that. It only appears to change or move or go on. And any sense that the appearance is somehow incomplete is part of a separate experience, that where the fact that it is already that, which is wholeness or completeness, is lost.
So there's this appearance which occurs in time?
Apparently.
Okay. And that's what I'm seeing. If I had the other vision.
But for you, this is limited to that separate experience. This is a separate experience to the individual. It's a known reality. And that's dissatisfying.
I mean, through some lens or some way of looking at it, it's not really known. Like, there's...
Oh, but that's just, it's so complex and complicated, I can't know exactly what it is. Or like she was saying, it's a memory, I can't know.
Or I sort of recognize that...
But that's not what I'm pointing at. I'm pointing at that there's the knower itself is the illusion, the distortion.
Yeah. I was going to say something like, any of these labels that I give to things, I see that as arbitrary.
But that's still a knower that's
just talking about labels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jim, other than obviously you no longer seek in spirituality, would you say all the other interests that you had before are the same?
I don't know.
Okay.
That seeking, that was sort of like a full-time thing. Because I was in a teaching, and it was, it just gave you something. It was always being now, and not only just now, but what to do with emotions and thoughts and relationships and everything. It was full on everywhere. So I was either failing or not failing. And that's pretty much all it was.
So now you have
And it
time.
just never worked.
Now you have time for interests.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's no need to find anything, so...
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything.
Okay. Actually, one question in 2 parts, just to warn you.
Okay. Do I need a pen and paper? Okay.
When, this, sometimes I got thoughts, and then they happen. Could you, and then the
Like
other...
intuition, you mean?
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, talking
And sometimes
about...
they don't.
Okay, most of the times, but I notice only that.
Yeah,
The other thing, I guess, talking about time or compression and things the way they happen. I mean, let's say for this meeting, you must have planned it some time ago.
Yeah.
And then by magic or by whatever it happened.
Imagine.
It happened on the whatever.
Yeah.
How would you explain that in terms of?
What's the confusion?
The confusion is that do things happen? Because everything that happened is already happened.
No.
That's that.
Everything's already in the can. No.
Well, how would you explain planning and then things happening?
Well, it's just what appears to happen.
No, but on average, probability, the laws of probabilities, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently.
That's part of it, isn't it?
Oh, and actually, that's sort of the crux of it. So for me, apparently is a throwaway word. It doesn't really have any sort of energy to it because its experience is that apparent means my life, my experience, and all that. But really, apparent is the absolute undermining of the separate reality. Because what it's pointing to is that everything that appears is irrelevant because it's already that which is long.
So it's almost like, I think Tony calls it an invitation to show that that's part of it. That's it. I mean, the appearance is also. I'm it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So apparent is what is,
Yeah.
and on top of that is the me.
Yeah, well,
The
that's
me.
also what is. Yeah.
That's also what is,
Yeah.
but I just want
Yeah.
colors the
It does,
what
yeah.
is. But of course it's two because it's one.
That's true.
I mean one, it's not
That's right.
separate.
Yeah.
Is what is not apparent, like unmanifested.
Oh, it is. That's this. It's what is and isn't. It's what is, which is that which can't be known, being what is. Or what appears.
So that's, I'm just using different words, so that's what is unknowing appears.
Yeah.
Not as a subject of
No.
object, it just appears,
Yeah.
that's it,
Yeah.
apparent.
Yeah.
So you're saying that anything can appear,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. And we think that somebody, that appearance, it's made by somebody, yeah? It's something made that
Ah.
appears.
Mm.
But it just appears
Yeah.
from nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's nothing, and it's empty in its appearance.
Yeah.
And nothing behind it. I was at the Zoom meeting today, but it just starting to like click, you know, that it's empty, because if it appears, that means it's kind of like, is it or isn't, you know?
Both.
Oh, it's both. But it's kind of that it's empty in itself, because there is no past, nothing that came from somewhere. It just appeared in immediacy.
Yeah.
Because it always appears only in immediacy.
Yeah.
But could there be a real reason behind all this stuff where we can't understand?
Well, there's nothing behind all this stuff.
Well, we don't know that.
Oh, right, okay.
I mean, it could be like, you know, the casual shyness, they talk about the pulse. That's before, you know, the void is, there's a pulse coming out, you know, like a computer, yes, no, yeah, and that creates it. That's a theory. Could it be that there is something that we just can't comprehend?
No.
No.
How do you know? You don't know.
No. That's true. That's true. But without knowing, there's no need for a reason. It's obvious that the appearance has no need for a reason.
Right, yeah. It
Or a
has no
story.
need to know it.
There's no need,
There's no need.
for this to have a story.
Right, yeah, that.
And it's only with the me that there needs to be a reason.
Right.
Because it wants to know what it's supposed to do about its life, clearly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's gonna lead to something.
Mm.
Well, it wants to, you know, survive.
Yeah, it does.
Throwing
Well, that's
virgins, if
pretty
throwing
much a
virgins
lost
off a
cause.
cliff helps. You know?
Does it?
They're trying to survive, they're
Yeah.
gonna throw virgins off a cliff. If you
Why
believe
not?
it, yeah, if you believe it.
They're still there?
I don't know.
No, I think they're dead. I think everybody kind of dies.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Always do something.
Survive as long as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the elements have always conspired, you know, up until lately, I guess, against people. You know. Volcanoes and tornadoes and hurricanes.
Generally, bodies just die.
Yeah. Like they do in nature.
Yeah.
But the animals don't sit around making up myth and
No.
how we can
No, they don't
prevent
need
this.
that. No.
You ever think about the future? Do you ever?
Well, I don't. There isn't anyone here, right?
Okay.
That thinks about or has anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course.
Like, are we coming to an apocalypse? With
Yeah.
Climate apocalypse.
Yeah.
Sometimes those thoughts arise.
Yeah.
Or, you know, another era, an era of fascism in this
Yeah.
country for the first time. That would
Yeah.
be in this country. So
Yeah.
those thoughts still arise. There doesn't have to be a me here
No.
to
No.
think those thoughts.
No, but the me will then worry about it. It'll think it's important.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But as long as you don't think, worry about it, then there's no suffering around it.
Oh, suffering for me is seeking.
Yeah.
Seeking is the energy that holds on to thoughts and feelings and then with intention of, you know, good and bad thoughts.
I mean, I still recycle, but I don't. I Recycling happens. System, I have a system, and I enjoy systems.
Yeah.
But whether it wards off the climate apocalypse or not, I still enjoy it.
Yeah, great.
Or it's still, enjoyment still arises.
Well, that's the thing.
What's that?
That's the thing. You know, whatever is being done is not, whatever I do now or later, whatever it is not much more important than some other choice. It's just what is.
Yeah, but there isn't a you.
Yeah, well, that's the point. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
that's the
trying
point,
to make. And the thought counts actually what I'm doing right now. Because sometimes I would say, well, I need to do that, it's much more important. Then I think about it, say, what the heck? This is.
No, nothing's important or unimportant.
Right.
Everything is just simply what it is for no one.
Right, exactly.
So when there is no one, things just kind of
No,
singularity
no.
of
They already just happen.
okay.
This is
singularity.
this is just apparently happening.
So if there was a situation which, you know, I don't know, like the water line breaks to your house or something, and
I'll call you.
What's that? Good luck with that. But I'm just saying, like, there's something that requires, you know, like if it's gonna.
The question comes out of the experience that you made decisions in the past, and if there weren't a you, who's going to make the decisions or take responsibility if something happens? And the message isn't that. It is that you have never, there is no you, no one has ever made a decision, there isn't anyone responsible, there's just what seems to happen. And so in the past, if there were a broken water line and someone, the body did something about it, then in the future, if there's a broken body or water line, the probability is someone will do something about it.
Right. I think I was coming at it from a little bit different angle, but it was like this whole issue of like importance and one action being more important than another and priorities and so like if there's something that requires attention pretty quickly for bad things not to happen, would that not mobilize kind of quickly to deal with stuff and call it important?
It's the same thing. It has to do with if there isn't anyone, would there still be action, appropriate action?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it could happen quickly.
As if
Other
someone,
things could be-
as if there were someone who chose in the past, and if there isn't anyone, then it would be different.
Mhm.
No one's chosen, ever chose anything.
Yeah.
No one's ever chosen anything. Choice happens, no one makes it.
And you wouldn't have to call it important or not important. You
It's
do
just
it.
what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes two things seem more urgent than others. Like when your leg falls off.
When the water is
Well, if
coming
it's
up.
falling off, if it fell off, what are you gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
Does this give you a better way, or do less conflicts arise in your relationships now?
Well, there isn't any.
No
There
conflict?
are no relationships.
No
Oh.
relation.
People you run into, people you work with.
I just push them out of the way. Jim was a nice guy, he considered people. Now. Just watch me when we go to dinner tomorrow night.
I think, I don't know who said it, either Tony or Richard, Sylvester, that, okay, there's no relationship as such, but relating happens.
Yeah, apparently.
And apparently at a better level than, because the
Better?
At,
Tony said better, Richard said better.
maybe not,
Huh?
maybe not better, but a more energetic, because the
No, it's already, there is only the energy now.
Huh?
There is only energy now. That's all there is.
I know.
Okay. I mean, there would be no judgmental, why did you do that to me or whatever. It could be just relating.
Yeah.
More harmonious? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I think so.
So you would say that it's more whole.
It isn't more whole. Because it is
No, it
already.
is wholeness.
It is already whole.
Yeah. That's how you want it. So, it is whole. Whatever happens, it's wholeness.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what.
No.
Well, I know I'm asking about memory, but was there any back and forth after the me appeared to disappear? Was there?
Between the me and
Yeah,
not
and
me.
then, yeah,
No.
was there, no? 'Cause that's what most people struggle with, is, they have glimpses, and then they're like crawling to get
Yeah.
them, like, why can't I have
Yeah.
that bliss again?
But when it's gone, it never was.
The bliss never was.
Huh?
That experience never was.
The individual never was.
Yeah.
So everything.
So there isn't anything to come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Nothing to try and get
Whatever.
back to.
It keeps coming, well, then this is really hopeless, but not even, because doesn't that imply hope?
Exactly.
It feels like, yeah, it feels like trying to reconcile the concepts. Like, when somebody asks a question, I sort of guess what he's gonna say. But that, to reconcile the concepts with, I don't know what to call this. Maybe that's why you say this, because it seems like they're all there. That's all there is trying to get that. And then the other thing that you used to say is, well, it's there too. you know, I keep hearing that, like, it's like, we still think you've got something we ain't got. And then when you would say it's there too, that was kind of a comfort back then. Now it feels like no different. I mean, unless I know that's here too, anybody can say, oh, it's there too. It's no different. Make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, in the end, no, but the concepts are simple.
Yeah. Yeah, but that doesn't do anything.
No.
In fact.
Although it's quite a power. There are quite powerful concepts, really. So even understanding what we're talking about can sort of lead to a loss of, let's say, you know, beliefs or attention. There's a sort of a freedom even in the concepts, even in understanding what's being said. It's not what we're talking about.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, kind of.
I think I've heard you say the words can unravel things.
Yeah, the concepts, they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said there's nothing we can do to
No.
hasten
No.
anything. What about
No.
what about listening to the concepts?
I've never said that.
You never said that?
No.
I could have sworn you said that.
Yeah, I know. That's what people hear. It's amazing. I said there's no you.
So there are things we can do.
You can't join loss of the star. I'm dressing in orange.
What do you think that tradition of the guru and the disciple giving total up their will to the guru?
Well, what that is it's a natural happening. And it's a recognition in the disciple of there is no truth, but let's say a truth, or something beyond, what's longed for.
Right.
Being expressed or being said or something like that. And there's a natural, it's not the me, it's a natural, absolute giving up. And there's an energy of just prostrating, is that the right word? Prostrating in front of them. It has nothing to do with the individual. And it's momentary, it doesn't last, and it has nothing to do with any sort of action, individual action or doing. So making a story out of it is just a story.
Well, what about when they enter into a long-term relationship?
Yeah, it's just a story.
Student
Yeah, it's just a story.
moves into the ashram.
It's just a story.
And gives up on his will. Just a story.
But it isn't the individual that does it. That's a story of the individual, and that is what. But the energy behind that is something that just happened.
It isn't like, the problem with it is it's dualistic.
Well, I guess you could say, no, not that way. No, not in that sense, because there isn't any dualism.
Right.
There's not two. No. The practice, the idea that the individual could give up. It just takes what happens naturally and makes a teaching out of it.
And then it almost seems like it wants more, like the natural act is itself, but then it wants more from that relationship.
Well, if let's say a seeker, if that happened to, and it doesn't happen to the seeker, if that happened, they'd never do that.
They never
would join such a thing, such a teaching, because it would be absolutely obvious that there's no relationship.
Right.
It's not a choice.
You mean like the complete?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no choice, and there's no choice in anything.
No.
Like, don't say it, say it. It's sort of like, not my business almost.
Well, there isn't a you.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
There is
yeah.
that. I haven't mentioned
Apparently keep forgetting.
Well, because it's interesting, because the guru sometimes will ask that of the disciple.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, that's the bullshit.
The whole thing's bullshit.
As if, because it's right there, it's saying that there's someone there that could do it.
Well, it has
Right
to do with
from
an
the
individual.
get-go.
Absolutely.
Even though it could happen without.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I think somehow that's part of the lure. It's like all the energy around it. There's the possibility that it could be complete.
Yeah.
But
Or
you're not
that-
trying, but
as
there's
if-
claiming that there's someone that could, and you have to try harder. That's where it gets all. That's
Yeah.
where it feels energetically. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also suggests that what's happening is important.
And will lead somewhere.
And yeah, and then it actually happened, because if you're gonna lay on the floor in devotion or gratitude, whatever those words are, man, that's gotta be a big deal. That's gotta be important. And like, you know, really.
Well, just finding the guru is a big deal. You know? We've already made it so far.
Yeah.
By finding your guru.
It was part of the story of the journey. But the journey isn't real.
Yeah.
It's just something our mind makes. The me makes, the be thinks it needs a journey. What do you think about this phenomena? Well, in the U.S. you have the evangelicals, who rake in a lot of money and heal people. In India you have the gurus who can make jewels and things out of the sweat of their palms or whatever. What do you think of that? What thoughts are raised?
Same as you, probably.
It seems like the me wants something
Special.
Yeah.
Yeah, it loves it. If it would be so much happier if I were on a throne with that funny hat and a Afghan or whatever blanket over here, and people bowed in front of me, and there were 100 people instead of just 20. Much more comfortable. You're on the same chair, no fancy clothes. There isn't any difference. That's what it means. There isn't any difference. If the throne and all that, there's a difference. There's separation. There's also quite a distance in front of those gurus too. You can't get right up next to them because they're special. There's something special, and the me loves that. It feels like it's special and something special needs to happen. And second, there's no hope of it being confronted. It can live in trying.
And it seems like those experiences, like the me can generate some experience.
Totally.
And that's why I could feel like, I feel like so many people would not consider the non-dual, I don't know, put it, understanding. And because I went to, this teacher and I had this spiritual experience, or I say these affirmations and then the next day I, meet with this person and have this synchronistic experience. And, at one point I started to be like, wow, I hear about people who have all these amazing experiences, there must be something real there. And to realize it's just the me creating them is really fascinating. But then it's all, now I'm like, well, can't go after it. I don't have any desire to go after something that's just created by my mind.
Well, that's good because it never happened.
What? Oh, thank God.
Is there any purpose to the meaning? I mean,
No, there isn't any purpose to anything. There isn't any meaning, purpose, or intention.
Much as like
It's, this is already free. It can't be made free.
There's no evolutionary advantage.
Well, this isn't evolving. It appears to evolve,
Yeah.
but that has no relevance. It's simply an appearance of freedom, appearing to evolve.
Yeah, I used to be into evolutionary enlightenment.
That's Cohen.
Yeah.
Andrew Cohen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's like there's an infinite number of mischief the me can get into, both spiritual and non-spiritual.
Yeah.
Stories it can follow.
So nothing matters because it's empty.
Nothing matters because it's already that.
It's already there.
Everything
So
that appears is
anything
already
out.
that. Who else?
Are we on?
Muji and Very Long, or Gangaji. Gangaji and Muji are all in a car, driving along. Goes off a cliff and they all die. That's the joke. And they all go up to heaven. And they meet God. He's on his big throne and everything. Gangaji goes up first, and God says, "Oh, I've heard of you. Nice work you're doing. Yeah, just go right on in." And then Very Long goes up, and it's sort of the same. Nice work, well done. Yep, you go on in. Andrew Cohen comes up and he goes, "Excuse me, I think you're in my seat."
Good thing.
I'm talking about Gangaji and Muji.
Oh.
And they came out of
They came out of.
They came out of Papaji, although he never sent them out into the world or gave any.
Oh, he did.
Gangaji did.
Yeah, he did. He asked him to go.
Yeah.
He asked him to go. Oh,
Oh, yeah, go and teach, but
Yeah.
don't, like, he didn't
no.
ordain and
No.
a lineage.
Right.
But they say that the reason, to me, well, anyway, they say that Papaji pushed too much this idea of instant enlightenment without any preparation. And so these people went out and taught, but then their egos got all, in it because they hadn't purified their ego. Is that danger? There have been scandals, believe me. So, so could that happen in this message? It's probably those others.
It's the other guy.
It's hard to ask where did these people come from.
He's not going to answer though.
Oh, right. I thought I did. No, you just laughed. Yeah.
You answered.
Well, there's no posturing here.
There's no, I know something, so follow me.
Yeah, it's not a teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw Andrew Cohen at his community, and he was up on a little platform on a nice chair, and there was a big photo of him behind, and yeah, it was
Of himself.
of himself, of course. Well, he's just the guru, and he's not, he's beyond it all, so he's doing it at, the service of everyone else. But yeah, it's a very, like, I can feel the difference. It was like, it was this energy of specialness.
Yeah.
But then you, like, believe that it's in the name of,
Oh, totally. If there's
well,
enough
I
people
need
there.
to bow down, and
Yeah.
it's so clear now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
but when you have this sense of like, I'm not worthy, I have to, I have all these bad things in me that I need to overcome, and then it's easy to buy into that.
Yeah.
It's funny how the me tries to make this better though.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it is,
still,
isn't it?
yeah, it's still, yeah.
We've all heard stories of like spiritual leaders, like exploiting their students and stuff like that. And I mean, is it not possible that someone could be fully awakened and then whatever conditioning they have running just does all this stuff? It's
What does it mean, fully awakened?
I don't know, but you should know.
Oh, right.
Like the knee fell away or whatever.
Well, then they couldn't be a teacher.
Could be a teaching?
Couldn't be a teacher.
I said leader, or someone who sits in a chair much like yours.
Just raised up a little more.
An influencer, because you speak. I mean, how do you know your me's all dead?
There's no need to die.
How do you know that it's not, that the...
I didn't like the first answer. Try again.
It always seemed like for me it was a gradual learning of, I still have, ego or me, I still have some ego here.
Mm.
I learned from that experience. Yeah, so there's no way to know it's completely gone as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
The best thing I learned from having a group for 6 years was, I can't influence the world, but I had this programming in me to save the world, because I was the oldest, and my mom was always on the edge of a nervous breakdown, so my parents would say to me, Kim, you gotta be good, you gotta set the example, or mom's gonna go to the mental hospital. And so I had to save the world. My teaching after the experience I had in 50 years of Eastern philosophy was about saving all them, and then when that all kind of ran its course, and I was like, wow, I don't need to save anybody.
Mm.
I thought I needed to save people, and I didn't need to. So I wasn't aware of that before I did that anymore. See what I mean?
I do.
Okay. Stuff comes up that you're not aware you had still in there.
Yeah.
Seems like.
Mm. Here, whatever comes up or whatever appears is that.
Mm.
For no one.
Mm.
There isn't anyone to own it or to learn from it.
Well, it was a great relief. There was relief. Like, I didn't realize.
There isn't anyone here to be relieved.
There was feelings of freedom.
Yeah, there is no feeling of freedom.
There was sensations.
Tim, I know you said there's no process, it only seems like that to the me.
Yeah.
But obviously you felt like you were in a process
Oh,
until
yeah.
you died, let's say.
Absolutely.
Once you died, could you put that whole apparent process into, did it make sense what had gone
It
on?
never happened.
Well, I'm trying to make sense out of what's going on here for the last
Yeah, as though there's a process.
because but I can't fit it into a context.
It's a dream.
What is?
That process.
Yeah, but all these crazy energetic things that go on didn't happen until 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Before that, everything seemed fairly stable,
Mm.
and then listening to this, nothing is stable in this body
Yeah.
energetically. It's
Yeah.
just going all over the place at
Yeah.
random times in random ways, and
Mm.
it doesn't fit together as.
Well, it never did fit together. Nothing has ever fit together. Everything is just simply what it is.
So is it?
It doesn't have any context.
So,
Already.
so me feeling like it did fit together. Are you rolling your eyes because I'm not listening?
Yeah.
I didn't listen.
Yeah.
Shall I ask another question?
No.
There's guidance.
You're very blunt. Is that because you don't have a me?
I'm blunt?
Yeah, when you
Oh.
you're not worried about offending.
No.
Yeah. That's
There
fine.
isn't anyone to offend.
I feel offended.
Oh. Job well done. It's early, but we can still leave. I
Do you know what I think it is anyway? It's like, before when it felt like it all fitted together, was me feeling I had control. And
Yeah.
now feeling like it's all over the
Absolutely.
place, is me feeling like it's
Yeah.
no longer in control.
That's right. But it never is in control. It's not substantial enough to be
No,
controlled.
but it really felt like I had everything under control
Yeah.
for most of the years of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You felt like that too?
Oh, that's part and parcel of being separate, is the experience that I'm choosing to go left or right.
Yeah. I don't get that it was never in control.
Well, there isn't any control. There isn't anything to be controlled. This isn't substantial enough to be controlled. There's nothing, the experience of holding on isn't holding on. There's nothing to hold on to already.
I'm more confused now. I'm more-
It's a good way to avoid being sad.
I don't get it though.
No.
You're saying there's nothing to hold on to.
No,
I
there
don't
isn't.
get that at all.
Mm.
So now I'm really lost.
Mm.
But how can the
That's
mind,
good.
can the mind can't get it, right?
I'm not talking about the mind.
I mean,
I'm talking about the experience. The experience of knowing what this is. That's a holding on, that's a solidity. And it's an illusion. There isn't anything solid about the appearance.
So even the sense of the me freaking out is just insubstantial also.
Absolutely. The whole thing.
Yeah, that's what it feels like in, well, not necessarily in the meetings, but sometimes afterwards it's like the security is being removed, like that stable platform that I had to stand on, bits of it are going,
Mm.
but it was never a stable platform.
No.
And the apparent freaking out that comes from that is also nothing.
That's
So
it.
I used to have my life together, but and when I'm dating, I'm looking for someone else who has their life together.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's like you become a simple Simon again, just a simple living.
Yeah.
Almost like you become a happy idiot again.
Yeah. I feel seen.
You're going to write a great American novel.
No, unlikely.
It kind of reminds me of Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And yet he did have feelings, you know, he had love and sadness when she went away, and but maybe he didn't have a me because he was retarded. Never developed
Maybe we just called him retarded, maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was something else. You can relate on somebody who you don't know anything about.
Well, it's not cute. We couldn't like get into all this worry and panic. And things just happen. But he did Got to meet all those famous people. You know?
Jim, do you feel offended?
Offended? I mean, it's offensive. When the people
Why did you ask that question?
Because
I've asked him it before, and he said no, so I thought maybe he doesn't have to.
I didn't take it seriously at all. Okay,
well, I think it's like a good thing.
They'll never let us back. We're making so much noise. We're gonna have drugs in there.
Eastern philosophy.
Yeah.
Eastern philosophy. Asian philosophy.
I didn't see the connection between this and that. I didn't see the connection. I really did, so I don't know. I don't know.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, because I'm like, why? That was good. very clever. They bring something that, yeah, it's really it's like can be like lyrics, like this kind of comparison and all that kind of.
Yeah.
It muds in it. It just glory.
It wants to know.
It wants to know. It wants to like.
Yeah.
And it wants to influence.
Yeah.
To make what it thinks will make its life better, more powerful, more wealthy.
When we were talking at the very start before the meeting, you said the me doesn't have many strategies.
No.
So
did I say that?
I think we were talking, me and you were talking.
I mean, you're really good at that. It doesn't sound like me though, but yeah, doesn't have many strategies.
And I said I think I've only got two strategies. One is get high, and the other one is try and get high when I'm feeling down. But it's just one strategy for me. But
wait, what was the second one?
It's the same.
Get high and get higher.
Yeah, so it's one strategy for me. But what did you mean when you said that me doesn't have many strategies?
I don't actually know, but it doesn't have a lot of variation. It's all just trying to, basically it's just trying to have a better experience. But if you think about there are 7 billion individuals, if there's 7 billion me's, there's probably 7 billion strategies. But it's all just trying to have a better experience.
Yeah. Even wallowing in self-pity and being a victim is another way of getting high, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so bad, I'm awful, I'll never get liberated, I'm behind everyone else.
It's better to feel bad than to feel nothing. For the me.
Yeah. What do you mean by feel nothing? You mean be numb?
Yeah.
But sometimes it is numb for the
Yeah, I hate that. No experience is the worst. That's why I can't want this.
But you're not numb.
No.
You're alive.
There isn't anyone here, but it's not numb. But there isn't any need for it to be something. There isn't any need for experience.
But numbing can be a strategy.
Yeah. Getting high.
Take the edge off.
Yeah.
I think the thing for the me that's like frightening about being numb is it doesn't then have a direction. Even when you feel awful, you've got some kind of idea of what a direction could look like.
Yeah. Well, in the end, what it wants is the feeling of being alive. It just wants to feel alive. And if that's suffering, then that's suffering. And if it's something, if it's having a good experience, it's having a good experience.
One of the, like a couple of years ago, we were talking on the phone, and you said addiction is a way to compensate for loss of the mystery.
Oh, sweet.
That
sounds good.
No, you said it.
Great.
Yeah. Lines up with what he said. Addiction is a way of, for me, I think it was maybe to compensate for loss of the mystery. And it's almost like what you just said about the me wants to feel alive, because it knows what is and it can't experience the aliveness of what is.
Right.
So it has to try and
That's right. That's the loss.
It seems like, at least in my forms of addiction, or the forms of addiction that happen here, that there was success at some point, and then trying to recreate that, so that there was some kind of opening to the mystery, or absence of me, and then to recreate that, and it doesn't ever seem to work.
I get what you mean now when you say it's tragic, because it's always trying to compensate for what it that loss.
No, the tragedy is this is what's longed for. And it's looking somewhere else.
Because it knows what this is, yeah?
Well, it it has the experience. It doesn't, but it has the experience.
Oh, that's why dismisses it.
Well, overlooks it.
Okay, see.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I know this.
Well, I think we started off that way. The obviousness is overlooked.
Yeah, okay. Because by knowing, you make it like it's an object.
That's right.
I'm looking for something
That's
it's
right.
not an object.
Mm.
And this
Oh, the
is-
me is always
Yeah.
only looking in an objectified reality. It can only look
Exactly.
for things in the form of knowing or experiences. That's how this, as that which is longed for, is missed.
Yeah, exactly. But this is
Because
it.
it's not a thing.
So it will never find it.
They can't find it. No one ever
It's
finds
only
it.
subject
That's right.
in time.
Yeah. This is unlimited.
This
Subject object is limited.
Exactly. So this is it, but it misses because.
That's right.
But even if the missing is it,
Oh, completely. Yeah.
we can go now. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Just kind of, I'm like, okay.
I find it, I don't know, disturbing to, talk about me as if it exists and as this and as that, as this power. And it becomes more and more real rather than less. We talk about it in those terms.
That's what happens there.
Yeah. How?
Alright, you ready? Are you ready? There is no me.
Well, I keep saying that, right? It does that.
Alright, so if we talk about me, that's a problem. If I say there's no me, that's a problem. You're gonna have to give me a way out, man.
There's no me to get a way out.
Yeah, I know it's a story. It creates a story out of what happens.
Yeah.
It creates a story.
Yeah.
But, or maybe the story appears first and creates the me. I don't know. But that's irrelevant anyway.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
But that being understood, it's still.
Just this.
Okay, that's better.
Why didn't you say that?
Yeah.
Alright. So to end the me, I'd just like to say that nothing has been shared, at least from here, that has any value. There's been no information given. There's absolutely nothing to take with you. There is no practice or ideas that have any need to be carried along. What you long for is you can't escape it. You can't escape. You can't escape what's longed for. That's everything already.
Can't run away from it.
Can't escape freedom. Thanks, folks.
Thank you.